So this was our day trip to Ubud in Bali, Indonesia. And if you look at Ubud itself, it's recognised as the cultural and spiritual heart of Bali. Ubud's own history is in one way or another the birth of the island's history itself. And to explore Ubud's complex origins, we must take into consideration the past myths and legends, which are intertwined with its historical facts. And so I found this information online. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ubud as this video continues. The earliest recording of Ubud's history is believed to have gone back to the 8th century with the arrival of the first Hindus, led by a holy man named Rasi Markandeya. The nomadic Indian priest first arrived in Java before he embarked on a journey towards the east with some 200 followers until he reached the eastern tip of Java. There, from the slopes of Mount Rayung, if it's pronounced correctly, Raung, was the first time he laid his eyes on the island of Bali, an unexpected wilderness beyond the straits. Gathering a group of 800 followers, this Hindu priest finally crossed over to Bali, no more than 3 kilometres away, and made his way to the towering mountain on the eastmost edge to Langkur, now known as Mount Agung. Agung. However, their expedition was ravaged by plague and disaster. This led the priest to retreat to Mount Rayung, where he meditated for 35 days and nights. It is believed that during his meditation, a heavenly voice spoke to him, imparting wisdom that would protect him and his followers from the island's evils. He was instructed to make offerings to purify the land, offerings to the gods, and offerings to his ancestors. The priest returned to Bali once again with a smaller group and performed a purification ritual before clearing the forest. Since then, the purification tradition, which includes burying symbols of 5 cosmic elements before any construction of houses and temples, has been continued. The priest realized that all human actions must encompass rites addressed to the 3 cosmic components of the world, namely Loka, the underworld, and BWAH Loka, LOKA, the human realm, and Swan Loka, the divine realm. When these offerings are carried out, only then can humans find their place in the greater cosmos. This was the reason the priest gave Bali its name, derived from the word wali, meaning offering. Now, this story is written in quite detail on a website, which I'll put in the description below. I just thought I'd give you an introduction to it. I didn't want to read the whole thing. But, yeah, it's actually quite interesting when you get into the history of Bali and Ubud in particular. It seems like there's a lot of history there and some beautiful old temples that are associated with all these legends and histories in Bali. But this was Monkey Forest that we actually went into, and yeah, when we originally went here, there was a lot more interaction with the monkeys back in 2022. But this time when we went, there was all these signs around sort of to keep a bit more distance from them. I guess because there was a lot more tourists this time round. And one of the major temples inside was actually closed off, which you could walk through quite comfortably within the monkey forest. But as you can see, they don't really care. You're just walking around and they're just sitting there snacking on food that's been laid out for them, saying hello. And, they can seem completely chilled, these monkeys in this particular forest, this sanctuary for the monkeys. But let's tell you a little bit about Monkey Forest. So it has about 1,260 Balinese long-tail MAC AQUE monkeys, which live in this sanctuary. They are divided into 10 groups, mainly the Temple group, the Selatan group, the New Forest group, the Central group, and the East group, the Michelin group, the Uttara group, the Ashram group, the Atap group, and the Cemetery group. Now, the Ubud Monkey Forest is a famous tourist attraction in Ubud. Every month, around 10,000 to 15,000 visitors come to this particular monkey forest. The Ubud Monkey Forest has 186 species of plants, trees in a 12.5 hectare of forest. The monkey forest has 3 temples, mainly the Dalam Agnol, if you look at AGUNG, the Padang Tegal Temple, the Holy Spring Temple, and the Praj up. I'm not going to even pronounce that. Prajapati Temple. The forest is owned by the local community and is managed by the Mandala Sushi Wana Management. The purpose of the management is to preserve the sacred place and promote the Ubud Forest as an international tourist attraction. And the monkey forest lies within the Padang Tegal, which it owns. The village residents view monkey forest as an important spiritual, economic, educational and conservation centre. Now here's some interesting fun facts about this place. The history of the sacred monkey forest sanctuary dates back to ancient times, deeply rooted in Balinese culture and spirituality, as I mentioned earlier. It is believed that the sanctuary has existed for over 600 years, making it a significant historical and cultural landmark in Ubud, Bali. The exact origins of Monkey Forest Sanctuary are shrouded in myth and legend passed down through generations of Balinese people. According to local folklore, the sanctuary's beginning can be traced back to the 14th century, during the reign of Bijeng dynasty. The legend has it that the Hindu priest named Empul Kut arrived in Bali and brought with him the concept of enlightenment and spiritual practices. He believed in the importance of harmony between humans and nature, and thus Monkey Forest Sanctuary was established as a symbol of that harmonious relationship. And as I mentioned earlier, this place is about conservation, and throughout history, the Monkey Forest Sanctuary has played a vital role in preserving local flora and fauna, including its monkey population. The sanctuary serves as a natural conservation area where research and conservation efforts are carried out to protect the fragile ecosystem. Today, Monkey Forest stands as a testament to the rich history and cultural heritage of Bali and continues to be a place where visitors can connect with nature, witness the intricate relationship between humans and monkeys, and immerse themselves in the vibrant spiritual traditions of Balinese Hinduism. And these are really cute, these monkeys. People were watching them for ages, just playing here in the pond, jumping up and down with their games, jumping on top of each other, going for a swim underwater. It was so cute watching this little group of them here, playing around. And they were coming, running into the water, running back out, drying off. I don't know. I was completely immersed in just watching these guys for a period of time before we actually left the forest. But yeah, it was good entertainment just watching them, I swear. But this place is really worth a visit. I really enjoyed it the first time I came here, second time I came here, all that, because you do get close up to these beautiful animals and you just get to see them in a natural environment interacting, and not in some zoo and not in some sort of cage where it's more artificial. Here, it's completely in nature, and it really shows how humans and animals can blend together in harmony. And this was a beautiful section of the complex, actually. There's a little river, it runs down here, a bit of a temple complex. But yeah, I just stopped here because the trees were really beautiful and how all the vines just hung down. And look at this particular tree here, all the structures. This tree must be so bloody old. When I looked at it and all the vines coming down and everything like that, I was amazed at the size of it and how big this place was. And as you can see, just monkeys just walk randomly by you whilst you're actually here. But yeah, look at this, the size of this bloody tree. It's huge. And very impressive indeed. And this was super cute right near the end as we were exiting, and just stood there, this little monkey started playing with her hair, and we just sat there for a while taking photos and doing some videos. But yeah, super cute. But then we were off to our next stop, which was a local temple complex where you could bathe in the waters and get blessed. But even just looking at Ubud generally, it's a real good cultural centre where they're making all these various stone idols and structures. You got some beautiful furniture, local tourist products, arts and crafts. There's a lot of meditation, yoga retreats, hotels, resorts, getaways. And it's absolutely beautiful. And even as you're driving around, you might come across to these rice fields, which when they're in full bloom, they're absolutely beautiful in the area. And if you can ride a motorbike, why not? Hire a motorbike, come up into the hills here and go explore it. Because it is absolutely beautiful up here, driving amongst the villages and everything like that. There is some houses halfway under construction, but it's really beautiful. But anyway, here we are at the temple where Anne wanted to get some blessings. Built in the 10th century, Tirta Empul Temple is a Hindu Balinese water temple and is considered sacred by the community. Worshippers take part in ancient cleansing rituals here, and visitors are welcome to join. Nestled in the lush Balinese countryside amid rice terraces and coffee plantations, the Vishnu-dedicated Hindu complex gets packed with devotees on full moon nights, when it takes on an even more special significance to them. You might get to watch a ceremonial dance performed here too. For fewer crowds, though, it's better to visit first thing in the morning. After entering, you can rent a sarong for a small donation to wear during the rituals. The temple is built around a natural spring considered holy by the Balinese. The spring is used for a purification ritual called melukat, which aims to cleanse your mind, body and soul. Tourists are also, as I mentioned earlier, encouraged to participate in the ritual here, leading to the temple becoming a popular tourist attraction. The temple also has a small entry fee, and it's not too expensive for tourists coming here. But what you're watching here is that water sort of ceremony where people are coming to cleanse their mind, body and spirit. And Anne wanted to participate in this. And those green sort of sarongs, yes, they were rented so that you could go into the water and actually cleanse yourself. And it was a big line on this day, actually, because it was the full moon sort of event. And so Anne went through this whole thing, going from every one of those areas that's coming, where water's coming out in the natural spring here, where they just purified themselves completely. And so you have to go to every single one of these until you get to the end. And that's why you had these huge lines of tourists actually doing this. But yeah, the water's actually quite beautiful inside because they're natural springs coming up from underground. And it was an interesting thing watching it, and it was something Anne really wanted to do for herself. And it looks like there'd been some other rituals here. And even at the back of the temple, there was stuff still going on and ceremonies still going on when we had arrived at this place. Because I started walking around after the ritual was completed, as you'll see a bit further on. But I didn't go interfere with the local ceremonies that were occurring with the locals. But here's other sections of the temple as well. So I went for a little bit of a walk, and as you can see, there's a lot of sculptures around here. It's quite beautiful as you walk around the place and the way it's been set out. And I've been to this temple before, and I do enjoy the walk. It's actually quite a nice temple. And it's one of those must-visit temples if you're in Bali overall. But as you can see here, you've really got to dress a certain way to be comfortable, but it's also no drone zone. See, all the men there and women are wearing those sort of sarongs, and I had to wear one as well to walk around in this temple. So it's not just women, it's men and women that have to wear those things to be able to explore the temple. But yes, no drones, no smoking, and there it looks like they do musical instruments there. So it was some of the local musical instruments. They must do some rituals there or ceremonies there in this particular place, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, it's just nice to walk around and explore the place and yeah, just enjoy it really. And if you go with a structured tour though, they do give you a bit of a history on the place. We didn't go as a structured tour. We just had a private driver and actually went to this place. But you can go on fixed tours. And if you go with a official tour guide, they may sit back and actually tell you the story of the temple and why people do certain things within this particular temple as well. But yeah, I just continued to walk around the temple, just generally exploring, because I wanted to show you guys a little bit more of this temple and what you can see. So once you're in here, this is the sort of limits of things that you can see here. I didn't go further into that area, as you can see ahead, because there was some ceremonial stuff going in there with the locals. So I took a back step and didn't go into that one, and I just left that. But over this other end, there's a really nice, beautiful looking spring, and I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, I just enjoyed walking around this particular environment and just chilling, relaxing, enjoying the natural environment that surrounds this temple. But here's that little natural spring that I was talking about. See how clear this water is coming up from underground. It looks absolutely just sparkling water. I always watch this when I come here. I always just look at this particular section here, look at the water, looking at how pure it is, not polluted or anything. And here's another one of the natural springs as well, and this one's full of fish. And it's nice to take photos there as well, and another beautiful area. There's lots of areas around this temple that you can get some really good photos. But overall, I definitely recommend this place. If you're in Bali, this is one of those must-visit temples. And if you like these videos, hit like and please subscribe.